Hello everybody, I'm Pep580, welcoming you to a new episode of Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I am sorry for the long wait. We're gonna continue with the reading. So, here we go. A young man who emerged to rescue Hyrule from peril. He's the bearer of the Triforce of Courage who fights to keep Ganondorf from conquering the world. His green outfit is a constant throughout the series. He's a skilled swordsman, horseman, and archer. He's also proficient with bombs and boomerangs. First in The Legend of Zelda, last in The Twilight Princess. Triforce Slash Link version. Link with a Smash Ball, releasing his ultimate attack. Light flares from the Triforce symbol on the back of his hand and rushes out to meet the enemy he faces. The enemy gets trapped within the glittering Triforce, is quickly cut to shreds, and is launched by the last strike. The attack works on one enemy at a time, so it's best to go after the character in first place. Zelda! The Princess of Hyrule. In other games, her role changes between titles. In Ocarina of Time, she was hunted by the would-be conqueror Ganondorf. She deceived him, however, by adopting the persona of Sheik. In Twilight Princess, she surrendered to Sand and she was held as his prisoner. First in The Legend of Zelda, last in Twilight Princess. Light Arrow Zelda version. Princess Zelda's final smash. She wields a mighty bow of light with which she can attack from afar. Her arrow travels in a straight line and flies through all characters unlucky enough to be in the way. This attack cannot be blocked. The more enemies there are, the higher the chances to get them all with one shot. More is always better. Sheik! The persona Zelda adopted to escape from Ganondorf. She completely hid all traces of her Zelda identity and appeared to Link as the last member of the Sheikite tribe. She taught Link essential ocarina melodies and then vanished in an instant. She didn't appear very often, rather she would show up to support Link in crucial situations. She only appeared in Ocarina of Time. Light Arrow from Sheik. Sheik's final smash. After grabbing a Smash Ball, Sheik will be able to wield a bow of light. The arrow fired from this bow has the power to pass through multiple targets, so it will damage all enemies in the direction it flies. This, coupled with its shield-breaking power, makes it even more terrible. Even in Sheik form, Zelda's ability as an archer is undiminished. Ganondorf. A man who wants to use the power of the Triforce to conquer the world. In Twilight Princess, he gives strength to the Twilight King Sant and tries to change the land into a world of darkness. He possesses Zelda, transforms into a magical beast, and attacks Link. In the end, however, Link deals him a finishing blow and defeats him forever. Or not. From The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, all the way to Twilight Princess. Beast Ganon! Ganondorf's final smash. When he grabs a Smash Ball, he transforms into a repulsive evil beast. He'll rampage from wherever he is to the side in a headlong rush. When he begins to move, any character before his eyes will flinch, so try to start the move near other characters. Toon Link! Link as he appeared in The Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass. With big eyes and an expressive face, he lived peacefully on Outset Island until a bird captured his little sister and he came to her rescue. In The Wind Waker, he had to crawl, press up to walls, and the like. His green clothes were worn on his 12th birthday and are the lucky outfit of the hero of legend. From Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass. Triforce Slash! Toon Link's final smash. Hit an enemy with a light emanating from the Triforce mark on his hand to initiate the move. The enemy will be trapped within the Triforce and be unable to move. Toon Link will then rush in close and carve up his foe at lightning speed. The final blow will break the Triforce prison and send the opponent off the screen. Heart Container! The best recovery item! Grab this and heal 100 percentage points of damage. It falls slowly, so it's best to grab it in mid-air. Damage recovery won't happen instantly though, so try not to get launched while your damage is counting down. In the Legend of Zelda series, heart containers raise the player's maximum health. Bosses always have one in their possession. From The Legend of Zelda all the way over to the Twilight Princess. Bunny Hood! Headgear that hugely improves your jump and movement abilities. True to its name, the hood comes with a pair of cute fuzzy ears. On the right characters, they're as cute as can be, but on the wrong ones, they're scary. Of course, that adds to the item's charm. The sudden speed increase you get is responsible for more than a few self-destructs, so be careful. From Ocarina of Time all the way to Majora's Mask. Deku Nuts. Items that explode in a flash of blinding light shortly after they appear or when they take damage. Those caught in a blast will be dazed and immobile for a few moments. If the item is thrown, it has the same effect on whoever it hits. In The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Deku Nuts stunned enemies and were indispensable when Link was surrounded, also for Sheik to disappear. Tingle. A strange little man easily spotted by his trademark green bodysuit, bright nose, and pointy beard. Tingle first appears in Majora's Mask as a 35-year-old man claiming to be a fairy and selling homemade maps. In Tingle's Rupee Land, Tingle escapes a sad and dreary life to embark on a magical adventure in the delightful dreamlike paradise of Rupee Land. From Majora's Mask all the way to Tingle's Rupee Land, which is Japan and Europe only because people in North America hate Tingle. And I don't blame them. Wolf Link. Link's alternate form in the Twilight Realm. In this form, he cannot use weapons such as swords or shields, but he can attack with a ferocious wolf bite. He also has a number of unique skills inherent to his beast form, such as a keen sense of smell, the ability to dig, and a loud wolf howl. Only from Twilight Princess. Robed Zelda with the hood. The Princess of Hyrule, loved and trusted by the people. When Hyrule is invaded by sand from the Twilight Realm, Zelda is resolute in opposing him, but she chooses to protect her people and must surrender. From then on, she is imprisoned in the Twilight Hyrule Castle. In memory of the lost people of Hyrule, Zelda wears a black robe of mourning. Midna, a mysterious masked being. Midna was a princess in the Twilight Realm who was transformed into an imp by sand. Midna's personality is characterized by sharp tongue and a tendency to act on whims. Midna pairs with Link to save the world. She also possesses powerful magic skills such as the ability to warp through space. From Twilight Princess. Ilia, Link's childhood friend and daughter of Bo, Ardent Village's major. She always considerate of Link and looks after his coarse opponent. One day, however, she is kidnapped by enemies and loses her memory. Her kidnapping is what prompts Link to set off on his adventure. From Twilight Princess. Mallow, the brother of Ordon Village's tough kid, Tallow. Mallow is much more reserved than his troublemaker brother and is actually quite mature. This, combined with the almost baby-like appearance, can make adults feel awkward. Despite his childlike looks, Mallow becomes an esteemed businessman with his chain of Mallow Marts, starting in Kakariko Village and later on in the city. From Twilight Princess. Sant, the self-proclaimed king of Twilight. Sant is the ringleader scheming to cover Hyrule in Twilight. Sant long served under the royal family of the Twilight Realm. Ganondorf grants great power to Sant in exchange for his allegiance, and Sant makes it his ultimate goal to become the supreme leader of both light and dark. Twilight Princess. King Bulblin is the boss of the creatures who kidnapped Ilia, Colin, and the rest of Ordon Village's children. Characterized by his appearance atop a boar-like beast named Lord Bulblo, he encounters Link time and time again. When he loses in his final battle, he pays subtle respect to Link when he says, "I follow the strongest side." From Twilight Princess. Agatha, a strange young girl who lives like a fairy tale princess in Hyrule Castle Town. She has an eccentric attachment to golden bugs. In exchange for these bugs, Agatha gives you wallets and rupees. Whether or not you actually have any bugs, Agatha suggests that you must be hiding them from her. From Twilight Princess. A Dark Knot, a knight enemy clad in heavy armor that defends with a shield and attacks with sword techniques and kicks. Dark Knots lose their armor as they take hits, but they grow faster in the process. Their sword skills are quite accomplished. The most fundamental way of dealing with Dark Knots is having good command of spin attacks and back slices. Bulblin, creatures that serve under King Bulblin. They follow their superiors and pillage the land like hyenas. They typically attack with spears and fiery arrows, but sometimes attack while mounted on boar-like beasts. They're not the strongest creatures, but can prove dangerous in packs. Uku and Sun. One of the Uku travels around with her son in search of the means to return to her home, the city in the sky. Her human masked bird form is incredibly mysterious, but she's nice and likes to talk. If you use Uku in dungeons like you would an item, she'll warp you outside the dungeon. From Twilight Princess, but seriously, who thought this thing was okay to do? Shadow Beast, a loyal minion sent in from the Twilight Realm by Sant. Shadow Beasts suddenly appear from portals in the sky and attacking groups. As long as one is left alive, any others will be revived, so you must leave at least 2 living and defeat them at the same time. If you wipe them all out successfully, a warp point will open. Most of the time. Yetta, the wife of Yeto. She is a Yeti who lives in the Snow Peak ruins. In her illness, which was caused by the magic of Twilight Mirror Shard, Yetta was unable to leave her house. Although usually a kind lady, she became possessed by the mirror and was transformed into the great icy Blissetta. Yetta is also quite an accomplished slayer. Sorry about the clip that I put up. Ashe, a brave young female warrior and part of the resistance movement to save Hyrule, which is thrown into unrest by Sant. She holds strategy meetings for resistance members at Telma's bar in Hyrule Castle Town. Ashe is in charge of covering the Snow Peak region. She is sometimes seen out and about wearing a Yeti hide. From Twilight Princess. I think I skipped. Yeah, Darbus. Boasting a tough body and Herculean strength, Darbus is the well-trusted chief of the Gorons. Under his rugged exterior lies a warm, personable character. Darbus is brimming with pride and valor. He is transformed into the lava monster Fyrus by the sealed-off fused shadow. The Goron elders imprison Fyrus inside the mines where he battles Link. From Twilight Princess. Rallis, the prince of the Sora people, aquatic humanoids that inhabit the waters of Hyrule. Rallis is the son of Queen Rutella, who was executed by creatures from the Twilight Realm. As a memento, Rallis keeps a coral earring. He is a great rig fisher angler, the best in fact of all the Sora people. From Twilight Princess. Goron! A proud guardian of Death Mountain, entering without gaining the trust of the Gorons will earn you a rolling rock attack. They like sumo wrestling, as seen in Twilight Princess, when you need to wrestle core Goron. The complete shift to a friendly attitude by the tribal chief after being rescued suggests a prudent side to the Gorons. First appeared in Ocarina of Time, later in Majora's Mask, and then on and on. Sora! An aquatic creature. Most of Sora's life is spent in the water, but the creatures also can live on land for limited time periods. In Twilight Princess, King Sora is already dead and succeeded by Prince Rallis. Clothing made by the late King Sora allows non-Soras to breathe underwater. Same from the Gorons, from Ocarina to Majora's Mask, and so on. The Sages. Beings that help maintain order in the world. The Sages are wise ancients that protect the Mirror of Twilight, which connects the Light and Twilight worlds. They are the ones that imprisoned Ganondorf in the Twilight Realm, and are also those responsible for crafting the Master Sword. They feature strange floating masks but vary in appearance from title to title. That is actually correct. Outset Link. Link in his traditional clothing. He wears a blue V-neck long sleeve top with a shrimp pattern, coordinated with a slender orange pants. It makes you think that even in his home, Outset Island, Link was quite the fashion leader, and suggests that he may have changed into his Green Hero's clothing somewhat grudgingly. He actually did. You'll see that when we Let's Play Wind Waker. That will happen soon. Zelda from the Wind Waker, the rightful successor of the throne and descendant of the true royal bloodline of Hyrule. She strove to put an end to the ongoing battles with Ganondorf as the bearer of the Triforce of Wisdom, and she became a target of the resurrected Ganondorf. Although she was hidden in Hyrule Castle, Ganondorf managed to find and kidnap her. From Wind Waker. Ganondorf from the Wind Waker. The king of evil, Ganondorf, aims to collect the Triforce pieces and rule the world. Already in the possession of the Triforce of Power, he secures Zelda and her Triforce of Wisdom, thus luring Link to his castle. However, he is ultimately defeated by Zelda's light arrows and Link's Master Sword. And turned to stone. Medley, a young Rito girl who is an attendant to the dragon spirit Baloo, on the island of Dragon Roost. She is kind of cheerful when Baloo, She is kind and cheerful. When Baloo becomes enraged, she attempts to reach the dragon so that Komali can get his scale. Despite the violent winds, she refuses to give up and battles on through exhaustion. She is later revealed to be a sage, but that's a spoiler. Aryll, Link's cheerful younger sister, often seen wearing a hibiscus print dress. Despite her age, she has a good head on her shoulders and carries her Turtle Mark telescope with care. On Link's birthday, Aryll is mistaken for the female pirate captain Tetra and captured by the Helmarok King, imprisoned in Forsaken Fortress. She awaits rescue by Link. Tetra, a pirate captain who roams the seas in search of sunken treasure. Her disposition garners trust from her followers. Even she doesn't realize that she's the Princess Zelda. Once Ganondorf learns of her existence, the King of Red Lions explains to her the truth about her true self. She is often recognized by her cute pose where she crosses her arms and winks. From Wind Waker and Phantom Hourglass. The Helmarok King, a monstrous bird that wears a mask. On orders from Ganondorf, he sets out in search of Zelda, capturing every pointy-eared little girl he can find. His weak point is the area directly under his mask. This fellow also appears in A Link to the Past, but that version was more beastly and was called the Helmasaur King. He still wore a mask, of course, from the Wind Waker and The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. Salvatore, a guy who runs the minigame where you try to sink groups of giant squid with a set number of shots for prizes. Not only is the game fun, but his little one-man play using the funky little illustrated props leaves quite the impression. If you say you didn't understand his explanation, the expression on his face is priceless. Yay! Hooray! Yay! Link's grandma, Link and Aryll's grandmother. She's a fine cook, and Link and Aryll are particularly fond of her soup. Grandma cares for Link with a kind tone and a warm demeanor, but when Aryll is kidnapped and Link gives chase, her health deteriorates, leaving her bedridden. If you help her recover with a fairy, she'll comfort Link with warm soup whenever he wants. From the Wind Waker, which is actually quite weird that she was bedridden when there's only one bed in that freaking house, and she wasn't really bedridden, she was chair-ridden. Baloo, a spirit of the skies sacred to the Rito people. He lives atop Dragon Roost Island. Adult Ritos receive a skill from Baloo that allows them to grow wings and fly. Usually the friendly type, he becomes enraged when the evil creature Goma grabs his tail. Tethering him, Link battles Goma and frees Baloo, and expresses his thanks to Link and labels him the hero of winds. Pigs! Cute creatures that roam the land. They are usually pink or black, but are also sometimes patterned or even miniature. Perhaps due to their timid natures, they tend to run away when approached. To catch them, you need to creep toward them ever so slowly. Throwing them in the water will reveal that they can swim back to shore, not by doggy paddling, but by piggy paddling. So cute! The Great Fairy. A mystical being from Outside Island to Fairy Island to areas all throughout the world. There are many fairy springs. Great fairies are powerful fairies residing at springs called Great Fairy Fountains. These powerful fairies often reward Link with rupees, arrows, and bombs. The ones in the Wind Waker look very different from the ones in Ocarina of Time. Thank goodness for that. King of Red Lions. A talking ship that rescues Link when he is drawn out to the sea by the Helmarok King. Rich with knowledge, he is a valuable partner guiding Link in his adventures. As the ship is without a sail, Link must first acquire one on Windfall Island before venturing out on the Great Sea. It has been revealed that the King of Red Lions is actually the King of Hyrule. King, I don't know, Daphnes, no, Hyrule, I don't, something. Pirate ship, a ship commanded by Tetra that sails to the far corners of the deep blue sea. When Link gets on board, he is challenged with a test given by the pirate underling Nico. In that test, Link must learn to use these jumps and rope swinging to get through an obstacle course and reach Nico. If successful, he receives the spoils bag and bombs from Wind Waker and actually the Phantom Hourglass. Samus, the intergalactic bounty hunter named Samus Aran. Orphaned at the early age, she was taken in and raised by the alien race known as the Chozo. The power suit she wears is a product of their technology. Her unique combat skills combined with her athleticism and arm cannon have seen her through countless missions. Starred in Metroid, Super Metroid, and every Metroid title since. Zero Laser. Samus' final smash, the beam emerging from her arm cannon, is dreadfully powerful and causes great damage to enemies. The beam travels slowly but can be swept up and down. The recoil of the beam is so great that it tears off her power suit, revealing Zero Suit Samus. The pieces of her armor can be picked up and thrown as weapons. Zero Suit Samus! Samus Aran without her mighty power suit. In this condition, she does not have the firepower she's famed for, but is in full possession of the agility and athleticism that she gained through her childhood training with the Chozo. Without the armor, she's also much faster. The weapon she carries is a self-protection device known as a paralyzer that stops enemy skull. The first time she appeared was in Metroid Zero Mission, the remake from the original Metroid, and she has appeared a couple of times since. Power Suit Samus! Zero Suit Samus' final smash, Samus loses her power suit when she fires a Zero Laser, but she can restore it. That is, she can return from her Zero Suit form to her familiar armored form. That being said, Zero Suit Samus is very quick with great reach, so there are tactical reasons to fight as is. If that's your preference, don't pick up any Smash Balls. Screw Attack! A badge you can wear to turn your jumps into Samus' signature screw attacks. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, it was an item you carried, but this time around it's a badge you wear, which means you can use it and another item at the same time. There's a good chance you'll be able to string together screw attacks and mid-air strikes for powerful combos. First appeared in Metroid, then Super Metroid, and I think the screw attack has appeared in almost every single Metroid game since. I don't think it appeared in Metroid Prime 1. I think it did, not sure. Metroid, a bioengineered life form found on planet SR-388. Metroids attach to organisms and drain life energy. The Galactic Federation commissions Samus to eliminate them, but space pirates try to harness their power. One of the few ways Samus can kill Metroids is by shooting them with the Ice Beam and then shattering them with missiles. The Metroid's cry is chilling and indescribable. Yeah! From Metroid, Metroid 2, Return of Samus, and pretty much all of every other Metroid game. Even though they were extinct for some reason. Samus on the fusion suit. During exploration of SR-388, Samus is infected by an X-Parasite and nearly dies. A vaccine created from Metroid cells saves her, but her suit turns blue and loses most of its abilities and weapons. This new Samus must regather her special abilities and fight to neutralize the threat of the X-Parasites in the space station run by Biologic Space Laboratories, or BSL, from Metroid Fusion, one of my favorite Metroid games. Samus and her power suit. Samus is a basic version of the legendary power suit made for her by the Chozo race. Samus is most often seen at the beginning of each game in this suit. The normal power suit has the lowest level of protective power and features no additional functions. She can use the cannon on her right arm for power shots and build up her arsenal through item pickups. First appeared in Metroid, and later on in Metroid Prime. Samus in her Varia suit. A suit with a higher level of protection than the power suit, it eliminates damage caused by very hot or cold areas. It is also more resilient to enemy attacks than the power suit and greatly differs in shoulder design. Recent visual depictions of Samus often show her wearing the Varia suit instead of regular suits, because this one looks way cooler. Samus on her Gravity Suit, a power suit that provides even more damage protection than the Vari Suit. This Gravity Suit also allows Samus to move without water resistance when underwater. In most games in the series, this suit also blocks lava damage and friction. In addition, it allows Samus to use item bonuses like the High Jump, Space Jump, and Speed Booster, even when underwater or in lava. Super Metroid, Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Prime, and so many more titles, this is the coolest suit. And then we have the Dark Suit, a power suit that reduces damage taken from the atmosphere of Dark Aether. It is obtained after defeating Amorbis in Dark Torvus Temple. With its increased protection, it greatly widens the range of exploration available in the toxic atmosphere. This suit was developed by the Luminoth, the native race of Aether. The Light Aether, that is. From Metroid Prime 2, Echoes. Dark Samus! A twin image of Samus encountered near the beginning of Metroid Prime 2, Echoes. Dark Samus is identical to Samus in every way but color. She even uses similar attacks. There are many theories on the origin of Dark Samus, but none are proven. Dark Samus uses Phazon for energy and can absorb it to heal damage. Samus encounters Dark Samus a number of times, even though her origin was confirmed at the end of Metroid Prime 1, and then she goes out to Metroid Prime 2. Ridley, the leader of the Space Pirates. He looks like a pterosaur, but has high intelligence and a brutal nature. He plans to steal the baby Metroid from Samus for his own use. Ridley utilizes wings for a full range of flight and attacks with fireballs from his mouth and whips off his tail. As the culprit behind the murder of Samus' parents, the connections with Samus run deep. First appeared in Metroid, then semi-starred in Super Metroid, and pretty much every other title ever since. Meta Ridley, the meta form of Ridley, revived using the Space Pirates' genetic engineering and cybernetic technologies. His thin chest plate and weak point is protected by a highly resistant membrane. Meta Ridley is highly mobile and features a multi-missile system, a bomb launcher, and powerful wings. Ice attacks are particularly effective in dealing damage to him. Camden, a bounty hunter seeking the ultimate power, the secrets of the Alimbics on a savage planet in a far corner of space. Camden is the result of a failed lab experiment meant to create invisible soldiers. He seeks the ultimate power to prove himself as the greatest hunter ever. Camden's weapon is the electrically charged Volt Driver. He first appeared in Metroid Prime Hunters. Spire, another hunter seeking the ultimate power and the last of the silicon-based Diamond race. By finding the secrets of the Alimbics, he hopes to uncover the secret of why his race went extinct. Spire uses the Magmaw, a weapon passed down through Diamond generations, to launch burning magma at opponents. From Hunters. Weevil, a cyborg space pirate and member of a Special Forces unit, Weevil was once left for dead in a fight with Samus. Like other hunters, he also seeks the ultimate power. His weapon of choice is the rapid-fire heavy-duty battle hammer. Weevil can transform into the half turret where his upper and lower body split and can attack separately. Noxus, a bounty hunter and member of the elite Boson race. He seeks the ultimate power only to ensure that no one else possesses it. Noxus uses the Judicator, an ice beam weapon which, in addition to its offensive ice blast, features a protective shield that freezes opponents. Trace, a bounty hunter and member of the Kraken Empire, which is despised for ruthless invasions of planets. He seeks the ultimate power in order to further empower his people and gain fame and strength for himself. Trace has stealth capabilities and can make himself invisible. His weapon is the Imperialist, a sniping laser. Silex, a skilled marksman and bounty hunter experienced in espionage skills such as scouting and tracking. While much of its background remains a mystery, it is clear that it hates Samus and the Federation. Silex uses the Shock Coil, an experimental Federation-made weapon that continually drains energy from enemies and refills its own. Luminoth, a creature of the native race of the planet Aether. The Luminoth develop facilities to draw the dwindling energy from the core of their planet. However, they lose that energy when the planet is hit by a Phazon meteor and they are attacked by a race of dark creatures, the Ing. A war over Aether's energy then rages between the Luminoth and the Ing races. And Samus arrives. The She-Goth, a boss guarding the wave beam in the IC Chapel of Elders. It appears after Samus defeats 4 baby She-Goths. The crystal on its back will absorb any shot, so the trick is to shoot in the head with missiles when its mouth is wide open. The plasma beam deals severe damage to this creature. But of course, I don't know if you already have it. Metroid Prime. Rather, I don't remember because I've beaten Metroid Prime before. Space Pirate! An enemy of Samus. They land on Talon 4 and use the energy they find there, called Phazon, for brutal experiments on the planet's life forms. Samus takes for the Talon 4 to destroy the experiment facilities. In Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, the pirates go to Aether to find Phazon. A war is being waged there, and a race of dark beasts, the Ing, make research difficult. The Parasite Queen. Space pirates perform many experiments using Phazon as a means to artificially enhance physical strength. The Parasite Queens are the result of these experiments on one's life form. This Parasite Queen lived in a nuclear power reactor and fired destructive beams at Samus from its mouth. The barrier that spun around the Queen reflected its in Samus attacks. Metroid Prime Core. The core from the Metroid Prime losing its exoskeleton. It can make itself invisible for a set time, which requires Samus to make a visor change. Normal hits do not have any effect on it, and the Metroid Prime can eventually be defeated by using the Phazon beam while standing in a Phazon puddle. Metroid Prime Exo. The form of the Metroid Prime that Samus first encounters. It can become invulnerable to all but one of Samus' weapons at a time. The body color alternates between yellow, purple, white, and red, with the color indicating the weapon that can deal damage. After taking a certain amount of damage, the Metroid Prime exoskeleton reveals its core essence. Gunship. The ship that Samus pilots. Entering the gunship allows Samus to restore energy and save. Samus has been on numerous voyages in the gunship, but after being attacked by an X-Parasite in Metroid Fusion, she crashes into an asteroid belt that destroys the craft. After that, the Galactic Federation provides her with a new ship. Super Metroid was the first time you can see this baby, and then later on in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Yoshi, a creature that hails from Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's come in a variety of colors and all possess gentle personalities. No matter what problems they face, they always look like they're having fun. Yoshis use their long tongues to grab and swallow fruit and enemies. They can convert what they swallow into eggs, which they then lay. They also give Mario rides. First appeared in Mario World actually, but his first game was Yoshi's Safari, and up to Brawl, his latest game was Yoshi's Story, which is actually a little bit weird. It actually was Yoshi's Island DS, I think. Super Dragon! Yoshi with wings on his back that give him the power to fly freely across the sky. In this state, he can spew giant fireballs. He is more mobile and powerful, but the inertia makes movement quirky, so it takes some skill to master flight. Yoshi returns to a normal state after a set period of time has passed. Baby Mario! Mario is a baby! A crybaby at that. Although he lacks overalls, he can see the trademark red hat that even at this young age. Everyone's favorite hero was riding Yoshi and adventuring from his youngest days, and even as a baby, it's clear that Mario had quite the nose, even though he is very clearly clad in overalls right now. Thank you for that confusion, Nintendo. Baby Peach. Princess Peach is a baby with a pink pacifier. Even though she's an infant, she wears her crown with all the charm and elegance you would expect from a princess. In Yoshi's Island DS, she rode out for adventure just like baby Mario. On Yoshi's back. While riding Yoshi, she can use her parasol to extend their hang time. First appear in Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, and later in Yoshi's Island DS. Kirby! A round pink ball of cuteness from a distant peaceful star. He can inhale everything with his gigantic mouth, then spit it out as ammo. He has the handy ability to copy powers and use them as his own. His hovering ability lets him fly through the air with ease. He's so round he's sometimes treated like a ball. From Kirby's Dream Land, the first game he ever appeared in the Game Boy, all the way over to Kirby Superstar and Kirby Air Ride, and so many more games that have come out in the past that were not released on consoles. Yeah. Cook Kirby! Kirby in Chef's Guard. When Kirby throws on his chef's hat, a giant pot appears in the center of the screen. All characters' items and even long-distance weapons are sucked into the pot. Once they've simmered a bit, food items equal to the number of things in the pot appear. Characters in the mix get blasted straight up out of the pot. Meta Knight, the head of the Meta Knights, and something of a rival to Kirby. He is quite an accomplished swordsman. Following his code of knightly ethics, he once delivered his sword to Kirby and they met in single combat. His giant cape transforms into wings, giving him the power of flight. He's shown his face briefly before, but his relationship to Kirby is still a mystery. Kirby's Adventure was the first time he ever appeared in, and then later in Kirby Superstar, and so many more games that came afterwards. Galaxia Darkness, Meta Knight's final smash. He flips his cape and the darkness within envelops his foes and plunges the world into shadow. He then unleashes a series of sword strikes that do terrible damage and launch his foes. In the darkness, Meta Knight can also reach and attack distant enemies. One can imagine Meta Knight slipping back and forth at high speed to accomplish this. From Brawl, King Dedede, the self-styled king of the amazingly peaceful Dreamland. He continually does things on becoming a king, like stealing the kingdom's food supplies or all the stars from the sky. He's not all bad though, and sometimes performs good deeds. While he and Kirby often battle, they've been known to compete naturally at speed-eating contests and mini-games. First appearing in Kirby's Dream Land as a final boss, and later on Kirby 64 the Crystal Shards as a good guy, Kirby Superstar in Gourmet Race, and so many more games. Waddle Dee Army! King Dedede's final smash. He whistles and an army of Gordos, Waddle Dees, and Waddle Doos rain down and rampage, pummeling all in their way. After a bit, they'll pack it in and hit the road. Any left can be forcibly removed. They are fast numerous, which makes it difficult to get through their ranks without taking any damage. Maxim Tomato. A juicy tomato that heals 50% damage points and the damage you've percentage points of the damage you've accumulated. When one of these appears in combat, rest assured there will be a race to see who can reach it first. It's a race of desperation between players who want to heal their damage and those who want to stop them from doing so. In the Kirby series, Maxim Tomatoes healed all damage. Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby Superstar and pretty much every single Kirby game ever. Dragoon! An attack capable of air ride machine you can, An attack-capable air ride machine you can assemble by combining parts A, B, and C. You can knock off parts held by foes in combat, so stealing parts is something that's sure to occur. In Kirby Air Ride, you control legendary machines, but the Dragoon not only towers above all other in terms of speed, it is also able to fly. For long periods of time. From Kirby Air Ride. The Warp Star! A warp speed item. In the Kirby series, Warp Stars are used to move between stages. In Smash Bros, they are ultra-fast attack items that zoom up and down to devastate anyone they hit. You can shift your landing spot by moving control stick left to right during your descent. Choose your target and hang on. Don't overshoot the mark and plummet up the stage though. From Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Kirby's Air Ride, Kirby's Dream Land 3, and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, which is a remake of Kirby's Adventure, and so many more. Super spicy curry. The spiciest curry around. Eat it and you'll be able to attack by spitting out fireballs. The eater of the curry will soon be unable to handle the heat, however, and end up practically dashing about the screen. This is a pretty funny sight that never gets old, especially when it's Samus or Snake. Eat this mouth-scorching dish if you dare, from Kirby's Dream Land. Then we got the Star Rod, a magic wand. Perform a standard attack with it and it's a battering weapon. Perform a strong or smash attack and it fires a barrage of star shots. Throw it at a foe and that opponent will get sent flying sideways. In the Kirby series, the Star Rod is the power source of the Fountain of Dreams. King Dedede once stole it to imprison the Nightmare Wizard in Kirby's Adventure, but it later appeared again in Kirby Superstar. Knuckle Joe, a martial artist known for amazing attacks like the Book and Jab. With his bandana, he looks and fights the part of a Muay Thai boxer. When Kirby copies Knuckle Joe, he gains the fighting techniques of a hand-to-hand combat expert. Knuckle Joe also engages in friendly block-breaking competitions with Kirby. His other famous techniques are the Smash Punch and Rising Break. From Kirby Superstar. Beam Kirby! Kirby in a jester cap, and a super cute Kirby at that. Beam Kirby features a beam ability acquired by inhaling Waddle Doo that allows him to shoot a whip-like beam at his enemies. With a wide attack range, this ability is extremely easy to use, especially for taking out enemies in bunches. In Kirby Superstar, this beam can also be charged and fired. Kirby's Adventure, Kirby Squeak Squad, and so many more games than later Needle Kirby. A Kirby ability made when Kirby inhales inspect enemy. When attacking, the needles on Needle Kirby's body extend, giving him a porcupine-like look. This ability provides both offensive and defensive measures against nearby enemies. Plus, needles which extend on Kirby's underside when jumping eliminate any threats of landing. Kirby's Adventure and Kirby's Canvas Curse. Sword Kirby, a Kirby ability made with Kirby nails a sword-wielding foe or a sword itself. Doing so provides Kirby with a rapid sword slash, a jumping sword spin, or even the energy beam blast of the final cutter. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that this is the #1 copy ability in terms of accessibility. From Kirby's Adventure, which was the first time it appeared, all the way over to Kirby Squeak Squad, which I think was the last title released by the time of Brawl's release. So that's cool. Also, the final cutter doesn't really make sense that Sword Kirby had it originally, so it was also transferred to the cutter transformation later on. Then we got Sleep Kirby. Kirby, after he copies the ability to sleep peacefully, Kirby takes on this form when he nails Naughty or other such enemies. Kirby cannot move at all while sleeping, so extra care should be taken not to use this ability when enemies are near. Kirby, in his slumber, tends to drool, and in his panicked awakening, isn't it cute how he forgets to wipe off the drool? Sometimes, just sometimes, from Kirby's Adventure to Kirby Squeak Squad. Wing Kirby. Kirby when he nails a winged enemy and copies its flying ability. This ability can be used to proceed through strong wings that otherwise would be too tough to overcome. Wing Kirby can also perform a plethora of attack moves, such as the bomber heading, where Kirby dive bombs onto enemy heads. From Kirby Superstar all the way over to Kirby Air Ride. Fighter Kirby. Kirby when he is skilled in martial arts, especially close quarters combat. Inhaling brawny challengers like Knuckle Joe will transform Kirby, allowing him to use a bunch of fight moves like Rising Break and the heroic uppercut. In his powerful punch in Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which used charged energy to take out faraway enemies, is another Fighter Kirby highlight. Also, Hadouken! Fire Kirby. Kirby when he inhales an enemy who uses fire. Shooting fire from his mouth, Fire Kirby can cook enemies from far. This ability also allows Kirby to light explosive blocks, fuses, and so on. In Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Fire Kirby can roll his burning body into enemies as an attack move, from Kirby Superstar all the way to Candace Course. Ice Kirby! Kirby, when he copies an enemy with chilly abilities. Ice Kirby can blow an icy wind from his mouth and freeze enemies solid. These frozen enemies can then be knocked into other enemies and as an additional means of attack. These blocks are not only effective against enemies, but can also be used on terrain such as magma or water. Plasma Kirby! Kirby when he nails Plasma Wisp, which glow with a neon green flame. Plasma Kirby can change the plasma strength up to a maximum level of 5 by furiously pressing buttons. In Kirby Superstar, your attack, be it a plasma laser or a plasma wave cannon, varies with the length of time you charge it. Kirby Superstar and Kirby Air Ride as well. Tornado Kirby! Kirby when he nails enemies that fly around like twisters through the sky. When in tornado form, Kirby can spin freely through the air short amounts of time. Clearing out groups of enemies, Tornado Kirby will continue spinning and bouncing violently off of obstacles until he comes to a stop. One drawback of Tornado Kirby is the control difficulty, even though you can learn to control it pretty quickly. Waddle Dee, a carefree creature that wanders the hills and dales of Dreamland. Basically harmless to creatures great and small, Waddle Dee sometimes use parasols to float down through the skies. If Kirby swallows a parasol, he'll get one he can use to float or ward off enemy attacks. On the other hand, Kirby can't copy anything by swallowing Waddle Dees themselves. From Kirby's Dreamland all the way to Squeak Squad, I think they have appeared in every single Kirby game. Waddle Doo, a creature identified by a single unblinking eye. Like Waddle Dees, Waddle Doos roam about Dreamland and sometimes use parasols. Unlike their counterparts though, they hate being approached. They'll fire a beam of energy at anyone who nears them. So don't think they're harmless like Waddle Dees. If Kirby swallows one, he copies the beam ability and gains a Jester's hat. Gordo! A creature that sits in one place and doesn't even try to move. They won't even budge if Kirby tries to inhale them. They're the definitive obstacle. In addition, they're covered in spice, so they damage whoever touches them. They're found stepped on roofs, blocking narrow passageways, etc. Nothing's harder to get by than an encampment of Gordos. Dynablade! A monstrous bird with white and rainbow-colored bladed wings and huge talons. Challengers who face Dynablade are forced to contend with her speed and armor plating that can reflect any attack. The only weak point is her head. In Kirby Superstar, she's destroying Dreamland scrubs, and there's apparently a perfectly good reason for this. Kids. Blade Knight, a sword wielder covered in head-to-toe armor. Kirby can copy his sword ability by inhaling him. Blade Knight has a variety of sword techniques, including chops and one-handed slash combo attacks. As a helper, you can take him with you, and he will assist you by taking out enemies with sword attacks. He's about as strong as Sword Knight. Bonkers. A large enemy who wields a giant hammer as a weapon. Bonkers battles you with several moves. His hammer attack and coconut throw could be considered his specialties. Kirby can inhale Bonkers to learn hammer and smash techniques. Not many know this, but Hammer Kirby can also break walls and pound down stakes, even though everyone knows this because you need this to get 100%. Brontoport, a bird that looks a lot like Kirby. Brontoport here has clear wings that he uses to basically flutter around the skies of Dreamland. He will pull off sudden dive bombs on occasion, and although he has no ill will toward Kirby, Brontoport will sometimes collide with the pink hero if he gets in the way. You should be especially careful of these collisions. From Kirby's Dreamland all the way to Squeak Squad. Cappy, a creature that looks like a walking mushroom at first glance. Inhaling him will strip off only his cap, revealing his true identity. Cappy tends to turn around wildly, flailing his arms, and then gently eases back into a relaxed strut as if nothing ever happened. A Golem, one of the many creatures statues found in Mirror Country. Far up in the skies of Dreamland, typically inert, golems will only move to attack if Kirby draws near. Other golems protect treasure chests, and some get shot from the mouth of the King Golem. Kirby can inhale golems with a super inhale to copy his stone ability. Kracko, a well-known boss from the Kirby series. Kracko is a clown with a big eye and numerous spikes. He threatens Kirby with a number of weapons, including beam and rain attacks. In Kirby Superstar, Kracko first appears as Kracko Jr., continuing his onslaught on Kirby as he grows in size. Kirby's Dreamland and Kirby Superstar, and later on. Scarfies, creatures with cute cat-like faces that float through the sky in a playful, gentle manner. Try to inhale them, however, and Scarfies take to the offensive in a new, scary form. They can't be inhaled and eventually explode on their own. This is one enemy that you should probably attack as little as possible. That's right, let sleeping Scarfies lie. Sir Kibble, an armor-clad foe. Sir Kibble grips a blade of his head between his hands before launching it at Kirby. By inhaling Sir Kibble, Kirby can copy his cutter ability to throw boomerang-like blades. At close range, Sir Kibble can use his cutter like a sword for a non-stop cutter attack. Walkie, a microphone who trudges along and enjoys himself as he sings, but by inhaling Walkie, Kirby gains the ability to shout, allowing him to clear all enemies off the screen with a high volume blast. This is a powerful ability that can only be used up to 3 times. In Kirby Air Ride, this ability sends every racer within range into a spin. Wheelie, a real speed demon. Once Wheelie gets going, he can't be stopped. Wheelies are sometimes known to run in packs too. Kirby can copy the wheel ability, turn into a tire, and run over enemies. The momentum will keep him rolling until he runs into an obstacle such as a wall. Hydra, one of only two legendary air ride machines, known also as the King of Destruction. The Hydra was born to battle. Collecting its 3 parts on City Trail will reveal its fiendish side. With high offensive and defensive levels, the Hydra can easily blast through rivals and obstacles, leaving a swath of ruin. This is the ultimate air ride machine for attacking the corpse. Bomber, one dangerous dude, as evidenced by the skull drawn on his body. Bomber walks around on 2 legs, but whenever he falls from stairs or other high places, he hits his head and explodes, covering a significant blast radius. Kirby can suck him up to learn the crash ability, the ultimate weapon for wiping out every last enemy on the screen. Use it once, and it's gone. Bugsy, one of Kirby's foes. Those unlucky enough to get too close will get body slammed with Bugsy's vicious pincers. He also releases smaller bugs. Kirby can copy the ability to body slam by inhaling him. In Kirby Superstar, this ability is called with Quick Stamping. It's just one of many pro wrestling moves he uses. Combo Cannon, the main gun on the battleship Halberd. As the name references, it has 2 guns. The top one shoots out slow-moving shells, and the bottom one fires a powerful laser. There is a mechanical arm at the base that is used to grab enemies and hold them to be blasted by the laser cannon. It has a wide attack range and once shut down Dynablade after she aided Kirby, which is very bad. Halberd, Meta Knight's battleship, built to help Meta Knight take control of Dreamland. It's crewed by Meta Knight and the Meta Knights and is equipped with a combo cannon and a shrimp-like robot called the Heavy Lobster. In the subspace emissary, the Halberd appears and releases a massive horde of shadow bugs. These creatures form pyramids and cause our heroes a lot of trouble. Screw you, Halberd! Apples, fruit that falls from above when you're battling Wispy Woods. Kirby can suck them up and spit them out in useful projectile weapons. They're nice to have around when you don't have any copy abilities, but they do damage when they hit you, so they can be a bother too. They offer no ability when swallowed. These apples are not produced by Wispy Woods. Fox, the leader of the commando unit for hire known as Star Fox. He uses both the team's mothership, the Great Fox, and his personal R-Wing fighter to challenge his evil scientists and boss. He made his name as an ace pilot, but has lately shown himself also to be an adventurer with a knack for hand-to-hand combat. Landmaster, Fox Final Smash. Climb aboard the Landmaster 10, the ultra-high-performance anti-air rolling combat vehicle of the Team Star Fox. Just like in the Star Fox series, the cannon can be used to blast foes, and the tank can roll over enemies. The jets beneath the main body can be used to hover. Between its firepower and mobility, this tank knows no equal. Except the other Landmasters. From a lot of people. Falco, a Team Star Fox pilot whose real name is Falco Lombardi. He once roamed the Starways as the head of the Galactic Gang, and his piloting skills are superb. He affects an air of cool disdain and is sometimes uncooperative, but in reality his passion for the Star Fox team is second to none. He once left the team to fly solo for a time. Star Fox Command. Or, well, no, Assault. Landmaster, Falco's Final Smash. He jumps aboard the Landmaster high-spec anti-aircraft tank. With the tank's powerful cannon blast and rolling ability, it's possible to take out all enemies at once. The Landmaster is based on actual production vehicles, but Team Star Fox Landmaster was customized by the team's mechanics, Sleepy Toad. Yeah. Wolf, a pilot whose real name is Wolf O'Donnell. He leads a group of mercenaries called Star Wolf. He's crossed paths with Fox many times, and each acknowledges the other as a competent rival. Wolf's constant interference with Fox is a result of Wolf's history with Fox's dad, James. Wolf's long story of criminal enterprise has resulted in a large bounty on his head. Landmaster, Wolf's Final Smash. Wolf analyzed Fox's Landmaster and built his own improved version, which he now calls out on boards. He's increased the output on the onboard generators and upped the vehicle's firepower. However, this has substantially decreased the time the Landmaster can appear on the screen. It sports the same colors as Wolf's Wolven. Fox from Assault, the leader of the one and only Star Fox team. Fox McCloud has superb ability, superb battle skills, and is an expert piloting of both the Outwing and Landmaster. In one-foot battles, Fox starts with a blaster and continues on with 4 other types of weapons as he flies through the aperoids. Fox also demonstrates his skill in air combat using the plasma cannons on the Arwing. Falco from Assault, a somewhat arrogant and smart-mouthed member of the Star Fox team. He often seems perturbed, especially when antagonized by Panther, and claims to dislike the cold. Although separated from the team, he joins back up for the battle on Soria and pretends that the reason behind his loyalty to the team is purely monetary. Falco from Command. Tired of the daily grind and monotony of work after the events of Star Fox Assault, Falco seeks more stimulating adventures with his buddies from his days as a space delinquent. He meets up again with Fox, who is battling a new enemy, the Anglar, on the planet Venom. Falco again vows to fight alongside Fox as a member of the Star Fox team. Peppy Hare, a member of the original Star Fox team. Peppy Hare was an esteemed pilot, now retired and currently commanding the Star Fox team from the mother ship. The Great Fox, although he's known for a propensity for nagging, the praise and trust his team gives him hasn't changed throughout the years. Do a barrel roll! Sleepy Toad, a top-notch mechanic with less than stellar battle skills, respected for his talent, he joins the Star Fox team and shows his mechanical genius as everything from vehicle maintenance to weapons development. Sleepy often holds the team back with his clumsiness, but makes up for it with his likable personality and morale-boosting presence. Likable personality? Likable? You gotta be kidding me with this. Crystal, a member of the Star Fox team, welcomed in the Star Fox adventures, after the team met her on planet Soria when responding to a distress signal. Crystal is capable of telepathy and is a valuable member in combat. After becoming romantically involved with Fox, their relationship gets very rocky in Star Fox Command. Tricky, the Prince of the Earthwalkers, the ruling tribe on the dinosaur planet Soria. He helps the Star Fox team take on the tyrannical General Scales in a battle for control over Soria. In Star Fox Assault, Crystal catches a distress signal from Soria after coming under the attack of the Aperoids, and the Star Fox team ventures out to help Tricky and his planet once more. General Pepper, Commander-in-Chief of the Cornerian Defense Forces. General Pepper also served as a superior officer to Fox's father when they were in the army together. With his great command record and warm personality, Pepper is well-liked and respected by his men. Over the years, he has built a close, trusting relationship with Fox and company. Rob64, a bipedal robot and operator of Star Fox's mother ship, the Great Fox. In Star Fox Assault, he is in charge of observation and analysis duties and assists the Star Fox team commander, Peppy. Rob64 is also responsible for the vital job of sending vehicles and items to Star Fox team members in the field. Panther Caruso, the newest member of the Star Wolf team, rivals of Team Star Fox, a show-off who often embarrasses his teammate, and he considers himself quite the latest scat and can hardly contain himself from making passes at attractive females, including Crystal, who he is clearly smitten with. Panther's treatment is a red rose. All things said, he's still a highly skilled pilot. Leon Powolski, a member of the Star Wolf team and a cold-blooded assassin. Without an inkling of goodwill or moral standing, Leon carries out duties as required by the job, remaining indifferent and robotic throughout. On top of his lethal skills, he maintains a solid reputation as a skilled pilot. Leon has been a teammate of Wolf's ever since belonging to the Venom Army. R-Wing, a fighter ship that comprises the main combat unit of Team Star Fox, boasting anti-gravity systems known as G-diffusers. R-Wings can perform barrel rolls, quick bursts of speed, and loops. They're also equipped with variable wings that can be switched in and out of combat mode. Their main armaments are their laser cannons, and their secondary weapons are smart bombs. The Great Fox, the mothership of Team Star Fox. Its oversized plasma engines let it warp during interplanetary voyages. It carries the team's R-Wings and Landmaster and its cargo hold, kept unlocked in case of emergency, and is equipped for emergency R-Wing landings. And 2 laser cannons can be used to blast asteroid. It's piloted by the robot Rob64, who also issues directions to the team. And the Great Fox from Assault. The Great Fox instead appears in Star Fox Assault, looking more streamlined than its previous appearances. It takes a horrible amount of damage at the hands of the parasitic Aperoid army, and in a last desperate attack, Peppy crashes it into the Aperoid homeworld. In the nick of time, Peppy and Rob64 are whisked to safety. Nice. The Wolfen, a class of starfighter piloted by Team Star Fox's rivals, Team Star Wolf. Wolfens boast more gravity-suppressing planes than R-Wings, making their performance equal or perhaps even superior. When Team Star Wolf reappeared, they were piloting Wolfen 2 ships, improved versions with 2 laser cannons rather than 1, and the capability to reflect attacks by rolling. Wow. And the Smart Bomb, a bomb that explodes and causes damage to all characters within its range when thrown or attacked. The explosion from this device is so large that the player may be caught in the blast if he or she is not careful. In Star Fox, this item will explode after a set time or can be set off immediately with a button press. Andros, a brilliant scientist formerly employed by the Cornerian Army. He took his research too far, and the disastrous results labeled him as level 1 offender, resulting in his banishment to the nearby planet Venom. After building a base and declaring himself Emperor, he swore he would rule the Lilat system. Thanks to Team Star Fox's heroism, the Madman was yet to achieve this. And we're done with the Star Fox series. And the Pokemon series is way too long, and I'm not gonna be able to fit this in less than 1 hour. So we're gonna leave it here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. So far we've gone through, how many of them? 323 trophies. So next time we'll have to go through around 200 if I want this to be a 3-parter. It's okay though, because after Pokemon, we've got F-Zero, Earthbound, Ice Climber, Fire Emblem, Icarus, WarioWare, and then the longest one is Animal Crossing, I think, and from there on it's just not long lists. So I think we'll be able to do that, and we're gonna be able to go through pretty quickly, but so far we've gone through quite a few. We actually went through The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Yoshi's Island, Kirby Superstar, and Star Fox, which are 5 series of games. I think it's just what we did last time. Wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We went through 4 last time, so we went through an extra one, which is Yoshi's Story. So that's fine. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe to the channel if you really like the video. And I'll see you guys next time for more Super Smash Bros. Brawl when we come here and read the last trophies. Later, guys.